Well, it's been a while since we've since we've communicated with you guys, but we just got back from Oahu. We did our first Hawaiian trip, and it was a whirlwind. We did it very quickly, and so we thought we would just have some whiskey and wine and recap our trip with you. If you're looking for a hang on Waikiki Beach all day kind of video, then this is probably not the video for you. We actually were there for 4 nights. We had 3 full days to spend on the island, and it was very active, but it was very rewarding, and we got to see the entire island. So if you're interested in that, then I would keep watching because we're going to unplug it really quickly for you.
Yeah, and if you're not interested in that, then stay tuned for the antics, and I'll entertain you just as well.
So we did this trip very quickly. We left Arizona on a Friday and we traveled back from Oahu on a Tuesday, which means Friday is kind of a wash because you've got time difference and the travel and getting settled and all of that. And there was not a whole lot to do on your very first day, which means that you have got to have everything planned out before you get there, which is exactly what we did. We mapped out everything that we wanted to see. We had our bucket list items. And so we went there with a plan, knowing that when we wake up on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, these are the things that we're going to do. And so we're just going to walk you through that. If you're going on a quick trip and you just want to make the most of it, then let's walk through what we did. So Saturday, day one, was definitely a day of rest and just relaxing on the beaches of Waikiki, which was really wonderful. Sorry, I got an email. So did he. Anywho,
Busy people.
We spent the days just doing nothing, really. Saturday was just a day of rest, and we got to enjoy the beaches, and it was beautiful, and it was really fun. But that evening, we knew that we were going to go to a luau. So it all kind of worked out where we knew we were going to be planning our time on the beach. And then later that evening, we were going to stay right there locally and go to the luau. And we did our luau at the Haleikoa. There's plenty of luau's that you can check out with all of the different resorts in the area. For us, this one just made sense. We had friends that were staying at the Haleikoa. It's a veteran resort, military resort. And so there was just a lot of different incentive for us to do it there, but it was amazing. Probably one of my most memorable moments of the trip. And the thing of it is too, is that prior to going into the luau, we had outside sources telling us like, oh, once you do a luau, like you've done a luau, there's no reason to do it again, yada, yada. They're kind of pricey. The second the luau finished, I literally was like, that was so fun. I would definitely do that again tomorrow. And so truly, like, it was such a great experience. I really would recommend it. And we'll share that with you here in a second. But what would you say?
What would I say? I definitely enjoyed it. It was nice introduction to culture. You gotta probably maybe do your research on which luau you want to attend to. And the reason why I say that is because some luau's may be more authentic than others, and there's nothing wrong with the Haleikoa. It was great. It was, but I also could tell that the time and prep for the dinner didn't equate to the actual pig roast. So
Yeah, but there's so many people that they're trying to serve. It's not like they're
yeah,
going to roast the pig and then actually feed
I'm
it
not
to you.
roasting the company or the entertainment staff. I'm just talking about roasting the pig. And so what I'm saying
Which
is
was really roasted.
yeah, there was
just not
probably
gonna
a
eat
pig
it.
that was really roasted. They had a very nice meal. The meal is very nice. But what I'm saying is that to roast a pig and then prep the pig probably takes more time than they allowed for us to enjoy the pig. So in other words, they had a ceremony and the ceremony was great, but it didn't coincide with time on prepping the pig for dinner. and so I could tell that the pig that was roasted was not the pig that was the one we ate. So what I'm saying is it was nice, but if you're looking for something more authentic,
Go roast it in your own backyard because you're not going to get that at any luau.
that's what she's saying. I'm saying just do your homework and find out what is actually happening behind the scenes. And sometimes to accommodate people, you may need to compromise the authenticity. And I get it. I get it. And it's fine. And it was great. I had a good time. But I understand there was some compromise, and that's okay.
So why we were able to take advantage of our time there and see most of the island is because again we were so active. As you saw, Saturday beach day, luau. Sunday we ended up just going out and adventuring, and one of the bucket list items on our list was to go see a waterfall on Oahu. Now we found this place called Mananoa Falls, about a 15-minute drive right from Waikiki beaches. Very easy to get to, a very easy hike for beginners, intermediate. It was a nice hike. I'm sure there's better waterfalls to go see, but again, this was on our list and it was very convenient for us to get to. So we set out down that path, and Mananoa Falls is where we went to.
Manoa Falls?
Oh, that might be it.
I don't know. Manoa Falls, Mananoa Falls. It's there just I want to say northwest of Waikiki area. So we went up there. It's really a 10-minute drive. What's nice about that island is that everything is essentially pretty close. Especially us, like we said, we're Phoenicians. So in Arizona, everything you can get to a lot of places in a decent amount of time, but definitely not like the island. That's a short commute. We went to this trail, and it took us from the beach and resort life into um, right into the tropics, right into gigantic trees that were hundreds of feet tall, gigantic bases of the trunks that didn't belong in certain areas. In other words, like they were um, horizontal to the mountain. There was like just some crazy wildlife and crazy vegetation that we're just not accustomed to, especially when all we see is mesquites and saguaros. So we were wowed by it. We loved it. We took the hike up. We got engulfed into the vegetation, and the sunlight dissipated. And there was some definitely some fog and some rain clouds, and it was we were immersed in the weather, and so it was very satisfying. And recommended it to anyone that has ever seen it. And I think we would definitely do it again. We're trying to find something though. Again, I'm not trying to dissuade anyone, but I do want to say that the waterfall has a season to it, and so it was very small at this point of the season that we went. And I'm sure there's some other greater waterfalls, but it was still awe-inspiring because there was still so much that I'm sure endures from season to season. It was just this one waterfall was a little light at the time, but I'm not dissuading you guys. It's definitely something. If you're gonna go and get a hotel or Airbnb in the Waikiki area, take some time and go up to that trail. that area, get into the mountains, change your scenery, and find yourself in some kind of tropical paradise that maybe you're not used to.
So if you're going to Waikiki, Honolulu area, one of the most like popular or renowned destinations to go to is Diamond Head. And we did that in conjunction with the Mananoa, whatever you want to call it, falls hike. We did 2 hikes that day. But Diamond Head is definitely worth it. Again, probably 20 minutes away from the Waikiki area. Super easy to commute to. It's going to take a bit of a time. This is probably, what'd you say, 2-3 hours, maybe more?
No, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah. But I would invest some time to get there because it was a good hike up. And then you're definitely going to want to spend some time just enjoying the sights. It's beautiful. There's lots of scenery, and we're going to show you that here in the next few clips. We also did a couple of shorts. If you want to check out our YouTube page just to see some of those that dissect some of these areas that we did, 2 minutes if you got the time to watch it, but they're really cool. We saw a lot of neat things along the way.
Yeah, I love to point to all the links, that other people do. I can't do that. So yeah, just check out our other links, however you do things. I was told to keep this short because I'm long-winded, but hey, it was cool. All right. So I looked around. I went to the peak. I saw a bunch of stuff on the islands, and it was great. All right. So I'm keeping it short right now on this clip. Anyway, cheers. Let's fucking do it.
This brings us to day 3. So there's that. So we've already toured. We did day at Waikiki Beach. We did the luau. We went to the Manoa Falls, whatever the proper term is for that. And then Diamond Head. So on the next day, we actually decided to travel around the entire island. And we started by going actually up the east side. And I have to tell you, you need to rent a car because it would be a huge miss if you did not make it to this side of the island. By far, the east side of the island was my favorite side of the island. There is just so much beauty over there between the turquoise waters, the white sandy beaches, the Jurassic Park landscapes, and then the North Shore. There's just so much to see. So you need to take advantage of that. And we'll share a couple of the hikes that we did and a few images from that travel time. And I guess that's all we have to say on that.
Heck no, I'm long-winded. I got plenty to say. Hey, I just wanted to mention, and I don't know, like I said, we're from Phoenix. All right, so I repeat myself, but the point I'm trying to say is, I don't know if we're giving reference to what our experiences are. So when we landed, we were in the south part of the island, and that was very resort-like, very beach-like. And then we went up to the East Coast, and that was almost very, would you say, like San Diego-ish?
Yeah.
We are very familiar with Southern California as the proximity from Phoenix and so on. But you go up the east side of the island, and experience a lot of like this Southern California esque experience, and then you go up a little bit further, and then we were given the advice, or not the advice, we were given the knowledge. The words escape me, but the point is, we were informed that there's more of like this kind of like down home, almost northeastern shore kind of experience, very residential. And then as you start to keep going further north and northwest, then you get to the North Shore, and that's where the bigger waves uh, start to revere, to reveal. Actually, not revere. I don't know words. They're all words. But anyway, we'll show you those in a few. But yeah, as we experienced the island, we went into a counterclockwise formation, and had a lot of references. So
Well, and just for fun fact, we actually did get to sit down with a handful of locals while we were there, just because, as he mentioned, we were traveling with his uncle, who's been to the island a number of times, but does currently have friends that have been on the island for 25 and 30 years. So we got to pick their brain a ton, and they really were able to like extrapolate all of the areas that we need to go to. Like we said, hey, these are the things we want to see. They put that together, and so that's really why we were able to easily execute and figure out like, okay, we want to do these things, and that's why we're sharing that with you. So just a little like side note on, hey, yeah, we did do these things and we traveled all along the island, and we did it in a very short time, but we also had some insider baseball with how to do that. So
yeah, down south, resorts and beach. Off to the east, it
my
was
favorite
hiking.
side.
It was hiking. Lot of peaks. I go up to the north, and you get to the residential. Maybe even some like um, restaurants with some, some localized cooking, and you get to the locals. And then you start to move on to the surf side. Oh, and that's what I meant to. What I wanted to mention was, you go back to the north side, not just the residential, but also snorkeling. It looked like the best opportunity for you to snorkel and get into some sea life and some kind of like beach and local surf. That's where you want to hit it. Was in the northeast side, but as you get further to the west, then you start to hit the big surf. I'm still trying to figure out what. It's not just my voice; it's me talking. Okay, this is not just my voice; it's me talking. I don't know what you heard in that last little snippet. I didn't poop at
I think you
in
did.
Hawaii.
I heard
No, I
two
did not. I did
rocks.
not.
Two rocks
I mean,
in
I
my
might have.
sheets.
I did. I did poop in Hawaii, but like in a bathroom. All right. What I was probably
I'm
talking
sorry.
about was going to the bathroom in the Grand Canyon. in Arizona, and I don't know why I was talking about that, but I am talking, and you can hear this.
We saw some really beautiful things. We did a lot of hiking. We did a lot of traveling of the island. But we would be remiss if we did not say make sure to take advantage of the culture, eat the food, enjoy while you're there, and do all that you can.
Yes. And I think the way you can do that is by going to the um, what do they call those things? Those vans, the food vans,
Food truck?
food trucks. Oh, they can't be called food vans. They have to be called food trucks. Go to the food trucks. There's a lot of independent companies, businesses, some startup businesses, and they're just trying to, you know, get their imprint into the world, and they do it with some great food, some twists on some norms, and I really appreciated that. So again, we went counterclockwise on the island. We started with San Diego. We went
It's
to
not
the
San
rest.
Diego.
No, I know it's not San Diego. It looked like San Diego when you go to the pinnacles or whatever, but you go to the tops of that, then you move on, keep going to the left and the north and whatever, and you get to the residential, you get to some authentic um, foods and the residential, and you get to know the locals. You keep moving, you get off to the big waves, the North Shore, and then you come back into like the inner island, just like the locals, the inner city, not the inner city, but what am I trying to say?
I have no idea at this
No
point.
idea. What I'm trying to say is like the small town, the small business, and we're big advocates of that, and we love small business. We love a twist on the norm, and we came right back down to where we were staying, which was close to what was it? Not Waikiki, but we were close to the Halakoa, the veterans base.
Which is in Waikiki.
Right, right. So we were just next to that, but we try to take advantage of the whole island, and we really wanted to experience it all and
Long
share it
story
with you.
short, we did a lot in a few days, and we hope that you will do the same. And we pointed out a couple of our favorites just because we did so much and we got so much out of it. And we hope that this was somewhat informational for you and that you take advantage of your trip too when it's a short trip. Enjoy.
Cheers.
Cheers.